Yeah, hi all. Good evening, everyone. In yesterday's session, we was discussing about uh, polymorphism. Polymorphism we can achieve in two ways. One is the method overloading, and other way is method overriding. So we have already discussed about method overloading. In yesterday's session, this is the method overloading, and in today's session, we will discuss about method overriding. So to explain about method overloading, I'm going to give one more example for method overriding. So method overloading, the definition of the method overloading is if you redefine the same method more than once in the same class, then we call it as a method overloading. The conditions are the number of parameters or type of parameters or order of parameters must be varying. And method overriding, the next approach to achieve the polymorphism is method overriding. Method overloading is regarding to one class, the same class, whereas method overriding is regarding to two classes. So to explain about this method overriding, we must implement the inheritance concept. Someone is messaging. Explain once again method overloading. Mr. Prabhu, for overloading, I have explained you and and also I said you video. So in case if you have any clarifications on method overloading, I will explain you separately. So you go through once again the video. So I'm sharing the video because to go through again and again. You go through the video once again. Still, if you do not understand, then let me know. I will explain. So, as for this session, I'm going to explain method overriding. The method overriding, in order to achieve the method overriding, we must implement inheritance concept. So, I'm going to create a class for explaining you about method overriding. So here the class name is method overriding class. So here I'm going to create, I must implement the inheritance here. So class HDFC bank is one class, and I have one more class, that is class RBI bank. I'm going to create one more class, class ICIC So here I have three classes. One is RBI Bank, and HDFC Bank, and then ICICI Bank. So what's the inheritance? Inheritance is if a if a subclass acquires all the properties of superclass, then we call it as a inheritance. So this RBI Bank has a methods functionality, that is withdrawal. Wide withdraw is one operation. So you can withdraw 1,000 per day. Is the operation. And then I'm going to provide one more operation, that is wide deposit. Deposit you can deposit 5 lakhs per day. Lakhs per day. The type is already defined. Okay, see, RBI Bank has operations. Those are withdraw operation and then deposit operation. So for each operation, I have declared one method, that is withdraw method and deposit method. So in withdraw method, I have provided the implementation, that is you can withdraw 50,000 per day. For deposit, you can deposit 5 lakhs per day. Now, if I want to implement the inheritance, how can I implement the inheritance? I can implement the inheritance using extends keyword. So now RBI Bank has two methods. HDFC Bank doesn't have any method. ICICI Bank also doesn't have any method. Now, when I use extends keyword, extend RBI Bank. Then the HDFC Bank also has two methods. Those are withdraw method and deposit method. Because here we are inheriting the superclass methods, all the superclass properties into child class. So here HDFC Bank is the child class, or we can call it as a subclass, and RBI Bank is the parent class or superclass. So when you use extends keyword, extends RBI Bank, then here RBI Bank is a superclass, HDFC Bank is the subclass. So now all the properties of superclass get inherited into the subclass. Now the HDFC Bank is also have two methods. Those are withdraw method and deposit method. ICICI Bank, it doesn't have any methods because it didn't inherit by the any superclass, so it doesn't have any methods. So now I'm going to create an object for this HDFC Bank. So how we can create the object? The way of creating an object is HDFC Bank, HDFC equal new HDFC Bank is the object creation. This is the way of object creation. This is the syntax, already you know. So now if I want to call the class methods, how can I call those class methods? By using this object reference, I can call those methods. So HDFC dot deposit. HDFC dot deposit. So here there is a deposit method inside this HDFC bank. So which class object it is? HDFC. HDFC is the object of HDFC bank 1 class. So now with this reference I'm calling deposit method because that is HDFC bank has a deposit method. And then the HDFC bank class have other method, that is withdraw method. So HDFC dot withdraw is the method. Withdraw is the method. In case if I call some other method, HDFC dot loan, then is the syntax error, that is compile time error, that is the method loan is undefined for the type HDFC bank because the HDFC bank doesn't have loan method, but you are trying to call, so it's throwing an compile time error. We cannot call this method because this method is not defined in the HDFC bank. So what can you understand by this? The deposit method and withdraw method are available for this HDFC bank. How these are available? There are no methods here, but still we can access because of this extends keyword. When you use extends, then it will inherit all the properties of RBI bank. HDFC bank is inheriting all the properties of RBI bank. So this already you know, we already discussed about inheritance concept. Now our aim is we are discussing about the method overriding. Method overriding. Now this is the common functionality for all the banks. Now if I extend for ICICI Bank, extends RBI Bank. Now ICICI Bank is also have two methods. Those are withdraw method and deposit method. Now when we are going for method overriding, now HDFC Bank is given the withdrawal amount is 50,000 per day, but the ICICI Bank is not satisfying with this implementation, with this withdraw implementation, but it want remaining all the functionalities, but it don't want this implementation, withdrawal implementation. ICICI wants to give 70,000 per day. ICICI wants to give 70,000 per day, not 50,000. But when you use this extends, all the properties will get inherited. Not only single property, all the properties, not one method, all the methods will get inherited. There is no option to restrict to inherit only some methods. So when you use extends keyword, by default, all methods will get inherited. So here there are two methods. If there are 1,000 methods, all 1,000 methods will get inherited. Then out of 1,000 methods, one method is not satisfying our class. So SBI Bank, my ICICI Bank wants to give 70,000 per day. It is not satisfying. So now if I create an object for HDFC Bank, now see when I run this class, see, you can deposit 50,000 per day, you can withdraw, you can deposit 5 lakhs per day, you can withdraw 50,000 per day. Now the ICICI Bank, if I create an object for ICICI Bank, how I can create an object for ICICI Bank? ICICI Bank, ICICI equal new ICICI Bank. So now when I call for withdrawal, how I can call? With this object reference ICICI dot withdraw. ICICI dot withdraw. Then when I run this, the same, whatever the implementation here, the same implementation applicable for ICICI Bank also. So you can withdraw 50,000 per day. Now I don't want this implementation. I don't want this implementation. The ICICI Bank wants to give 70,000 per day. Then what I do here, I will redefine the superclass method in subclass. Here what is the superclass? RBI Bank. I will redefine the superclass method in subclass. So void withdraw the implementation I am changing. You can withdraw 70,000 per day from ICICI. Now if I run this class, run as Java application. Now see, the implementation is changed. You can withdraw 70,000 per day from ICICI. But when I call this deposit, the same method will implement. But when I call withdraw method, now this method will implement. So what is the method overriding? Now based on this, the definition of method overriding is if a subclass redefine the superclass method, if a subclass redefine the superclass method with same signature, with the same method signature. Method signature, what is the method signature? The method signature is, this is the method signature. So from this add method name to parameters all together is a method signature. So now what is the method overriding? If a subclass redefine the same method in, if a subclass redefine the superclass method with same signature, we call it as a method overriding. This is a method overriding. When we will go for the method overriding, if a subclass not satisfies the superclass implementation. Now this is the subclass. ICICI Bank is the subclass. RBI Bank is the superclass. This ICICI Bank is not satisfying the implementation of superclass. If a subclass not satisfying the implementation of the superclass, then we will go for the method overriding. Then how it will be the execution flow? I will explain you the execution flow. So when I run this class, then what it happen? As you know already, the Java program execution will start from main method. It will come here. This is the main method. The execution will start from this main method. So very first is going to create an object for HDFC Bank. When this is creating an object for HDFC Bank, the new allocator, this new keyword will allocate the memory space for withdrawal and deposit method of the HDFC Bank class. And then HDFC Bank, this is the constructor. This is the constructor. What it will do, this constructor? This constructor initializes the variables, if any. So as of now, there are no variables here. In case if there are any variables, then it will initialize the variables. Means it's assign the values for all those class variables. Okay, now it's allocated the memory space and initialized the values for the variables. And now HDFC dot deposit. Then using that object reference, we are calling the deposit method. We are calling the deposit method. Then what happened? then it will go to the HDFC Bank class. This is the object of HDFC Bank. Now it will go here, HDFC Bank. And then we are calling deposit method. We are calling deposit method. Then it will check, is there any deposit method here? No, there is no deposit method here. Then it will check, is there any superclass for this class? Is there any superclass for this class? Yes, there is a superclass, that is RBI Bank. Then it will go, is this method is available in superclass? Yes, it will go, and here it will check in the superclass. RBI Bank is the superclass. It will go and check it here. Is there any deposit method here? Yes, there is a deposit method here. Then it will execute this method. It will execute that superclass method. First, it will check in same class. If the method is not available in the same class, then it will check in its superclass. So now the method is available in superclass, so that it will call the superclass method and will execute the superclass method. So that this is the output it has given. That is, we can deposit 50,000. Sorry, we can deposit 5 lakhs per day. This is the output it has given. Okay, it is implemented. And then now again the cursor will go to the same place, that is the next line. The next line is HDFC.withdraw. HDFC.withdraw. So then HDFC is the object of HDFC Bank. So it will go to this class and will check, is there withdraw method here? No, there is no withdraw method here. If there is no withdraw method, then what it will do? Then immediately it will check, is there any superclass for this class? Yes, there is a superclass, that is the RBI Bank. Then it will go to the RBI Bank class here and it will check, is there withdraw method? Yes, there is a withdraw method here, and then it will execute this method. So that the output is, you can withdraw 50,000 per day. So this is the output. Okay, it is executed this method, and again the cursor goes to the same place. So it has executed this line. The next one is, again we are creating an object for ICICI Bank for another class. Yes, I have created an object for ICICI Bank. Then it has created memory space for all the properties of ICICI Bank. And then here I am calling the withdraw method, ICICI.withdraw. Then it will go to the which class object it is? ICICI Bank. It will go to the ICICI Bank. And then we are calling withdraw method. So it will check, is there withdraw method? Yes, there is a withdraw method. If there is a method in same class, it will execute the same method. If there is no method, then it will go to the superclass. So there is already method, withdraw method. There is already withdraw method. So it will execute the same class method. It will execute this method so that the output is, you can withdraw 70,000 per day from ICICI. But here, if you see here, ICICI Bank extends RBI Bank. What's the meaning of this extends? We are providing the mechanism of inheritance. Inheritance is nothing but the superclass acquires all the properties of the subclass acquires all the properties of superclass. So superclass, how many properties it has? It has 2 properties, 2 methods, withdrawal method and deposit method. So already this ICICI Bank has withdraw method, but now we have written again the withdraw method. Now what it happened? It is overridden. If it is overridden. The previous method, already withdraw method is available. So now the subclass method is overridden the superclass method. In superclass also already have a withdraw method. So in case if there is no this method, Now ICICI Bank still have two methods. What are the two methods? Whatever methods are available in RBI Bank, the same methods are available for ICICI Bank also. So here, if you do not have that implementation, now see what will be the output. Run as Java application. Now the output is you can withdraw 50,000 per day because we did not override it. If you do not override, then this ICICI Bank has already a method that is superclass method. In case if you override, then what it do? This override, this withdraw method will override the superclass withdraw method. Now the output will be differ. As Java application. Now see, you can withdraw 70,000 per day from ICICI. So this is the method overriding. Method overriding. How you can define the method overriding? If a subclass redefine superclass method, if a subclass redefine superclass method with same signature, but the implementation will be differ. We call it as a method overriding. When we will go for the method overriding, if a subclass not satisfying the superclass implementation, then we will go for the method overriding. This is a method overriding. So it is achieving the polymorphism. What's the polymorphism? Polymorphism is many forms. Only one will act differently. So withdraw method. So this is also a withdraw method. There also a withdraw method. The method is same, withdraw. The method is same, withdraw. But when you are calling from ICICI Bank, the implementation is differ. When you are calling from HDFC Bank, the implementation is differ. So only one, but acting differently. When you are calling from ICICI Bank, it is the implementation is 70,000 per day. If you are calling from HDFC Bank, the implementation is 50,000 per day. So it has achieved the polymorphism. So what's a polymorphism? Once again, I will brief you the polymorphism. Polymorphism, poly is many, morphism means forms, many forms. It means only one will act differently. We can achieve the polymorphism in two ways. One is by method overloading, and second approach is by method overriding. The method overloading was the first approach, method overloading. If we redefine the same method more than once, if you redefine the same method more than once with different number of parameters or order of the parameters or type of the parameters must be vary. We call it as a method overloading. But it is in same class. It is in same class. So if you redefine the same method more than once in same class with different signature, we call it as a method overloading. So only one method acting differently. One time it is when you call, here I am calling add 10, 50. So when I pass 10, 50, then which method it will call? It will call this two parameterized method. When you call add, if there are no parameters, then it will call another method. So each time when you are calling, it acts differently. But method is only one. What's the method? Add method. Only one method. But based on passing parameters, it will behave differently. So it is achieving the polymorphism. And then another approach is method overriding. Only one method, that is withdraw method. When you are calling from HDFC Bank, it is giving one implementation. It is behaving like one way. And when you are calling from ICICI Bank, it is behaving differently. But method is same, withdraw method. So here in this approach also, it is achieving the polymorphism. Okay, this is the polymorphism. So in OOPS principles, we have already discussed about class, object, encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism. The next principle is abstraction. The next principle, OOPS principle, is abstraction. What's the abstraction? The abstraction is nothing but highlighting the specification and hiding the internal implementation is called abstraction. What's the abstraction? Highlighting the specification and hiding the internal implementation, we call it as abstraction. For example, if you go to any ATM center, you can see withdrawal option and balance inquiry option and many statement option. So when you click on withdrawal, then it will ask how much you want to withdraw. So when you give the 10,000, then you can get 10,000 money. But you don't know what's happening, what's the internal process, because they hide the internal process. What internally it is calculating, how it is giving money, it's none of your business. You don't know that. So they have hidden the internal implementation. Just they highlighted the specification. The specification is withdraw is one specification, and inquiry is one specification, and many statement is one specification. But you don't know what's the internal implementation. That is abstraction. What's abstraction? Highlighting the specification and hiding the internal implementation is called abstraction. Then, how we can achieve this abstraction in Java? We can achieve abstraction in Java in two ways. One is by using abstract class. The second way is by using interface. We can achieve the abstraction in two ways. One is by using abstract class. The second approach is by using interface. Now let us see what's the abstraction, or what's the abstract class, and what's the interface, how it will achieve the abstraction. But you are clear, first you must be clear what's the abstraction. Abstraction is highlighting the specification and hiding the internal implementation. Now how we can achieve? We can achieve this in two ways. One is by abstract class, other way is by using interface. Now let us see how we can achieve this abstraction using abstract class. So for that I'm going to give an example. So I'm going to create one class for explaining abstract class. So right click on this package and then new class. New class. So this class abstract class example. Class class is my class name. My class is my class name. So what's the abstract class? What's the abstract class? If a class has abstract keyword, then we call it as a abstract class. Now abstract is a keyword, it's applicable for class and method. If a class has an abstract keyword, then that class is a abstract class. That class is a abstract class. Now this class is a abstract class. We cannot create an object for abstract class. See, previously here in method overriding, here there are three classes: HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, and RBI Bank. For all the classes, I can create an object, but for abstract class, we cannot create an object for abstract class. See, now here, in order to create an object, we must define the main method. Now, this is the class name. How we can declare the object? My class m equal new my class. My class. See, it's a throwing compile time error. That is, cannot instantiate type my class. Cannot instantiate type my class, because this class is abstract class. We cannot instantiate the abstract class. We cannot create an object for the abstract class. In case if this class is not abstract, then we can create it. See, now it's okay, no error. This is normal class, not abstract class now. So we can create an object. In case if class is abstract class, then we cannot create an object for the abstract class. So you please remember this. This is the interview question. So we cannot create an object for abstract class. Okay. So then using this abstract class, we cannot achieve 100% abstraction. We cannot achieve 100% abstraction. So what is the abstraction? Highlighting the specification and hiding the implementation. Now I'm going to define one method. I'm going to define one method, that is abstract wide draw. See, this is the method. If you see, this is the method I have given abstract. So this is the abstract method. This is the abstract method. What's the abstract method? The method which doesn't have a body. The method which doesn't have a body. Body means this is the body. This is the body. The method which doesn't have a body, we call it as a abstract method. Call it as a abstract method. So there is no body, just it will have a head. There is no body. What's the abstract method? The method which doesn't have a body, we call it as a abstract method. Then if you have a body, what do we call? If you have a body, we call it as a concrete method, not abstract method. If you have a body, then sys out, it's a concrete method. Okay? Concrete method. It's not abstract method. It's a concrete method. In case if you specify abstract, then it's a throwing and compile time error. That is, abstract method do not specify body. Abstract method do not specify body. So abstract method should not have a body, because it is only specification. There will be no implementation. Abstract means we have a only specification. There will be no implementation. Then if I remove this implementation, then it's okay. There will be no error. Now see. What the meaning of abstracts? Abstract, the meaning of the abstract is it highlight the specification and hide the implementation. It should not have any implementation. So if you give abstract for any method, that method should not have a implementation. That method should not have body. Then I will have another method, that is the concrete method, void deposit. Concrete method. Deposit method is the concrete method and withdraw method is the abstract method. Withdraw method is the abstract method. So then if this class is the abstract method, if there is no implementation, then who is responsible to provide the implementation for this class? The inherited class. The inherited class is responsible to provide the implementation for this method, all the abstract methods. So we'll have some other method. We'll have some other method. Sorry, we'll have some other class, that is class my second class is my class name. Now this class inherits the my class. So how we can perform the inheritance mechanism? By using extends keyword. Extends my class. Now this my second class is responsible to provide the implementation for this withdraw method. It must provide the implementation. Not only for withdraw method, if there are any abstract method, if there are 1,000 abstract methods, then the my second class has to provide the implementation for 1,000 abstract methods. So it is throwing the compile time error, that is here if you see the type my second class must implement the inherited abstract method my class withdraw method. My class withdraw method. It is asking you must implement my class abstract method, because the class which extends the abstract class, that class is responsible to provide the implementation for all the abstract methods of superclass. So now this class has to provide the implementation. Then here you can get, and you click on it here, add unimplemented methods. Yes. Here we have my class withdraw method. So now my second class extends my class. Now the my class has two methods. Those are withdraw method and deposit method. So my second class is also have two methods. Those are withdraw method and deposit method. So now I cannot create an object for this class, but I can create object for my second class, because this class is not abstract class. So I can create an object for this class. So here I am going to create an object for my second class, ms equaled new my second class object I have created, and then I can call all those methods. ms dot deposit dot withdraw, and now Give the right click, run as Java application. Now see, concrete method, my class withdraw method. How it will be the execution? When I run, the execution will start from main method, and then here I am creating an object for my second class. Then it will go to the my second class and we are calling deposit method. Here it will check, is there any deposit method? No, there is no deposit method. Then it will check whether this class has super class. Yes, this class has a super class, that is my class. Then it will go to the my class. And then it will check in the my class there is a deposit method. Yes, there is a deposit method. Then it will execute this method. Yes, it has executed. And then it will come the cursor again here, and then ms dot withdraw. Then is there withdraw method in the my second class? Yes, there is a withdraw method. Then it will execute this method. So first concrete method and then my class withdraw method. So what's the abstract class? If a class is defined as a abstract, then we call it as a abstract class. We cannot create an object for the abstract class. What is the abstract method? If a method doesn't have any implementation, then we call it as a abstract method. Now one condition is here is if a class has at least one abstract method, if a class has at least one abstract method, that class must be the abstract class. That class must be the abstract class. If a class has at least one abstract method, then that class must be a abstract class. In case if it is not abstract class, it is the concrete class. It's the concrete class. Now this class need not be a abstract class. So now here withdraw method is also concrete method, deposit method is also concrete method. So this class is not abstract class. This is the concrete class. If a class has at least one abstract method, now this method I am going to make this class as a abstract method. If a class has at least one abstract method, that class must be an abstract class. Otherwise, it will throw compile time error. The type my class must be an abstract class to define a abstract methods. If you want to define abstract methods in a class, the class must be a abstract class. So here I need to define this class as a abstract class. So you need to remember this condition. And then one more thing here you need to remember is the abstract class will not achieve 100% abstraction. The abstract class will not achieve 100% abstraction, because if you see here, this withdraw method is the abstract method, but deposit method is the concrete method. So it is not 100% abstraction. It's a partial abstraction. One method is the abstract method, one method is the concrete method. So a abstract class may have abstract methods as well as concrete methods. Abstract class allows the concrete methods also. If there are 1000 methods, 500 methods are abstract methods, 500 methods are concrete methods. Then how it will achieve 100% abstraction? It is not achieving 100% abstraction. So the abstract class doesn't achieve 100% abstraction. It will achieve partial abstraction because it will allow the concrete methods also. The abstract class will allow the concrete methods also. Then the second approach for achieving the abstraction is interface. The second approach is interface. Now let us see how it is achieving 100% abstraction. Now I'm going to create an interface in the same package. Right click on the package and then new, here not a class, now interface. I'm going to create the interface. So interface name is my interface or my first interface, my interface name. Then this is the interface. It's not a class, it is interface. What's the difference between class and interface? A class, for a class will have the keyword will be the class. For interface, the keyword will be the interface. But the syntax wise, it's the same, both are same. It's a similar. So how it look like the class? So class I first class. See, the same. For class we'll have a class keyword. For interface we have a interface keyword. So remaining syntax wise, everything is the same. Everything is same. Now interface will achieve 100% abstraction. Interface achieve 100% abstraction. How it will achieve 100% abstraction is, this interface doesn't allow concrete methods. Interface will have all abstract methods. It doesn't allow concrete methods. So abstract add is the method. Add is the method. So we need to give the return type. Return type is void. So this is the method. In case if you try to give body, then immediately it will throw compile time error. That is, here if you see here, if you paste the cursor here, abstract method do not specify a body. Abstract methods do not specify a body because the interface will have all abstract methods. It doesn't have any implementation. It doesn't have any implementation methods, any concrete methods. It will have only abstract methods, so that the interface achieve 100% abstraction, whereas abstract class achieve partial abstraction. So if you define 1000 methods, all 1000 methods must be abstract methods. Whether we give abstract keyword or not, by default that method is the abstract method. See, I'm going to give void subtraction. I didn't give the abstract keyword. Whether you give abstract keyword or not, by default, all methods are available in the interface are abstract methods. Just if you give void sub, how it will treat the internally? Internally it will treat public abstract. So internally it will write like this. If I give void sub, internally it has written like this, public abstract void sub by default. So in case if you try to provide the implementation, then it doesn't allow. Immediately it will throw compile time error. That is, abstract methods do not specify a body. By default, all methods in the interface are abstract methods. So there is no chance to provide the implementation for any of the method of interface. Then I'm going to create one more method, void multiplication. Multiplication complete. No, immediately it will throw the compile time error. That is, abstract method do not specify a body. So we need to remove the body. And then by default it is a abstract. So I didn't put here abstract keyword. Even I didn't put abstract keyword, still it is the abstract method, because by default it will internally it will write this method as public abstract void mul. For interface also we cannot create an object. We cannot create an object for the interface. So if we want to create an object, it must be a class, but must not be an abstract class. We cannot create an object for this. So then when client giving the requirement, a client is nothing but whom we are developing the project. For whom we are developing the project, he is the client. For example, HDFC Bank. If you are designing the project for HDFC Bank, HDFC Bank is the client. Then client give the all requirement specification as a interface like this he will give, because a client knows what he want. Just he know the requirement, but he doesn't know the implementation. How to implement it, he doesn't know. So the SBI bank persons knows that they want the operations for withdrawal, they want the operation for deposit, they want the operation for giving the loan. But how to implement, they do not know the implementation. Just they know the specification. So the client will give the interface as a specification. Just they will give the interface. Then we need to implement this interface. We need to implement this interface. Then our class has to provide the implementation for this interface. So how it will be in real time, I'm going to create one class. It is my position. So this is the class. So now I'm going to create an interface. So what the operations will have a bank? The bank will have operations. Those are right, withdraw. The operation. So how it will write internally? It will write internally as public abstract void. Public abstract void. By default it will write internally. And then void deposit. Have two methods. Now here just we have a specification, and then one more method, that is void loan. Loan is another method. I have three methods. Then who is responsible to provide the implementation for these methods? The implementation class is responsible to provide the implementation for this interface, bank interface. Now here there is no body, there is no implementation, just have a specification. Now, as a programmer, we have to implement this interface. We have to implement this interface. So now here this class has to implement that interface. So implements bank. Implements bank. Now this class is responsible to provide the implementation for all these methods. All these methods. So first is withdraw. Right? Face withdraw method is withdraw method. So the scope here, change it as so I have provided the implementation for one method, but still it is compile time error because this class is responsible to provide the implementation for all the methods, not single method, not one method. If there are 1,000 methods, then this class has to provide the implementation for all 1,000 methods. So now I need to provide the implementation for this deposit method also. This deposit method also. So now click file deposit. Thing here. Then still it's a compile time error because has to provide the implementation for all the methods. Public void loan method. Now see, there is no compile time error because once this class implements any interface, bank is the interface. If this class implements any interface, then this class is responsible to provide the implementation for all the methods are available in interface. And then one more thing you need to remember here is you cannot create an object for interface. So let us check whether we can create an object for this interface or not. So for that I'm going to create a main method because Java program execution will start from main method. So here bank be equal to new here showing compile time error cannot instantiate the type bank because it is a interface. We cannot create an object for the interface, but we can create an object for the class. So this is the class. See here you can see the symbol C. For bank you can see the symbol I. Bank is the interface. We cannot create an object. For class we can create an object. So for this class we can create an object. Now see, you can create an object for this. My implementation class B equal to new my implementation class, and then you can call all the methods of above. B dot deposit, and then B dot withdraw, then B dot loan. Right click, run as Java application. So for deposit, what's the implementation for deposit? It is blah blah. So it's displayed the blah blah. And then next, what method we are calling? Withdraw method. For withdraw method, interface withdraw method. Yes, it is interface withdraw method. For next loan method, so this method, loan method. So by using interface, we can achieve 100% abstraction because it doesn't allow any concrete method. All methods are abstract methods, so that we can achieve 100% abstraction using interface. Okay, this is for today, and I'll see you in tomorrow session. Until then, take care. Bye bye. In the tomorrow session, I will explain you why we use this implements keyword in between the class and interface, and what's the difference between implement keyword and extend keyword. Okay, until then, take care. Bye bye. Good night.